I'm going to go to your phone calls. The toll-free number to join us is 800-259-9231. Then I'm going to get into the latest on the drones spying on farmers and others. Huge developments as al-Qaeda forces engage in mass murder all over Libya. The New York Times is bemoaning that. That is just some of what we're going to be covering coming up in this hour, interspersed with your phone calls. Also, Judge Andrew Napolitano, no relation to Janet Dungbeetle Napolitano, he has been fired from Fox Business, which I don't think is a big deal. Fox Business's top shows have 200,000 viewers, and those shows are Napolitano and Lou Dobbs. 200,000 viewers in an hour. Look up the ratings. Fox TV, their average show's got about 800,000. Average show on MSNBC, about 100,000. Some of the shows have 3 million viewers on Fox. Some of the shows have 900,000 on Mr. Maddow and others do. But it was just a waste of his time. There's all the prestige of, ooh, a fancy studio. And, ooh, I mean, he's a good host, but it's just all, he had more listeners on XM. He has, I don't know, probably 20 times the listeners when he comes on this radio show. But I don't put on big airs, ooh, Fox News, oh. I mean, Fox News calls me to be a guest on there, and I don't even return the phone calls. Now, people are like, you don't go on Fox News. No, it's not even worth it to get in the car and drive to the satellite uplink. And I get calls from Japanese, Iranian TV, British TV now. I don't even get in the car. I don't even care. I just don't even have time for it. I can shoot a YouTube video on my iPhone in 5 minutes, upload it, and it'll have on average 100,000 views, more than these shows do. Oh, I go on a Fox show at night. Ooh, 1.5 million people see me. Oh, somebody on the street says, I saw you on Fox. It's always some subject that doesn't matter anyways. And they're interrupting me the whole time. People accuse me of interrupting. I've actually done a study and tested it. On average, unless I'm moving quick, I let a guest talk for about 2 minutes before interrupting. I'm just not good at going, excuse me, hold on, I want to say something, you know, cutting in gently. I go, oh, I have a point I want to make. You know, it's the excitement. But that's why I have the most listeners, because it's unscripted, it's real. I do stutter and go, I have a point I want to make. That's the fact. This is teleprompter free, it's real. And people talk on average 2 minutes. Sometimes it's longer. Sometimes a guest talks for 10, I don't interrupt. It's when they start going off in other areas. No, it's about what I think's interesting. It's areas I want to go into. And you can't argue with success, but that's a little meme nitpick point is the, no, Fox News or CNN, you're getting interrupted every 35 seconds. If you get 35 seconds to talk, it's shocking. But nobody's like, let them talk, because it's short attention span theater. You'll have the host, you'll have another guest on, host will talk for a minute, you'll talk 30 seconds, guest talks 30 seconds, host talks 30 seconds, you talk 30 seconds, other guest talks 30 seconds, host talks a minute, they play a clip, they go to some other guest, go to you for 30 seconds, other guy 30 seconds, you're done. You've talked 2 minutes, you've spent 3 hours, 30 minutes driving in, sitting there for an hour while you wait, somebody trying to put makeup on you, and then you start talking to them. That's why last time CNN wanted me on, and it was a taped interview, I knew they were going to take me for like an hour and try to edit it down. So I went in there and just told them I thought they were scum and trash, and I never wanted to be on their filthy channel ever again. And videotaped it and posted it on YouTube, them interviewing me. Because I don't need you, scum. And that's why you want to shut the free web down, because we're cleaning your stinking teleprompter reading clock, you little ninnies. We'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to go to your calls right now, briefly at the bottom of the hour. I will give you the news. We've talked to him today. He says he'll come on next week. He just got the word and said this is, obviously a lot going on right now. Judge Andrew Napolitano, a great guy, a great legal mind, a patriot, a friend of liberty, a guy that's questioned the official story of 9/11 on this show. And George Soros sent letters. George Soros's group sent letters to Fox demanding he be fired. and I think that probably has something to do with it. He also had the #1 show on Fox Business. It was tied basically with another good guy, Lou Dobbs, and he has been axed from Fox Business, I guess for pointing out that people want liberty, and that was the top-rated show. 200,000 viewers or so. You're like, that's nothing. TV, I thought the whole world watches it. No. No, 200,000 is good on MSNBC. Fox Business has never really taken off. It's been a big industry problem for News Corps, and it's really sad that this has happened to Napolitano, but it's kind of much ado about nothing. I guess I'm already talking about it. I mean, 200,000 listeners, Judge, you're a talented guy. Do a syndicated radio show. I'll guarantee you, and I think Ted Anderson, I'll talk to him about this, so people always spin their wheels with like big outfits. Well, big outfits already have their main host on all their stations. You come on Genesis, people are like, why would you want to bring competition onto your own network? It's not my network. I always try to bring people on air. I always try to build people up. I'm looking for other voices. I'm not about, oh, I've got to be the king of everything. But I think Ted ought to offer him a job here. Genesis has over 1,000 affiliates. I've got over 100. 1,000 affiliates now between the gardening shows and the political shows and everything else. So people are looking for an alternative. A lot of stations are picking us up. But, again, the glitz, the glamour, the fancy set. Oh, my gosh, Fox News, 200,000 viewers on a good day. And, of course, Ted never bragged about this, but it was Ted Anderson who actually got Judge Andrew Napolitano on the air. He was the big thing to push him onto the air. And obviously the judge will probably still be an analyst on Fox News, I hope. But, you know, him having his own voice of liberty, covering the New World Order, really affecting change, that's not the direction Fox News wants. In fact, I'll just talk about it now and then go to your calls briefly here. It's on record, you can pull this up, it's come out in the news, that since Rupert Murdoch in the last year went under investigation for spying and hacking and paying off police in England, and don't just think it's England, the New York Post is well known for saying, you know, it came out years ago, give me money or I'm going to write bad stuff about you in the tabloids. Or give us money, we'll write good stuff about you. Very bizarre. And that's Rupert Murdoch. So there's a lot of dirty stuff going on. And so, yeah, they've got Fast and Furious they can use against the Democrats. But the Democrats and the Brits and the Labor Party over there, they can use all the corruption on Murdoch. And so that's why the word has gone through Fox. And I've talked to multiple Fox insiders. And this has been in the news in the last year. It's also come out in the news. Don't bash Obama as much. Don't be so partisan. That's part of the deal was getting rid of Keith Olbermann. But you notice MSNBC isn't following the deal. The political establishment has said all this fighting is really getting Americans angry. We need to de-escalate all this and put everybody to sleep. But Rupert Murdoch's got a fine line to walk. He needs to co-opt libertarian conservatism that's the hottest thing in the world. He needs to be able to profit off that. He knows that's where the big audience is. And so how does he have enough of that to have the audience while at the same time being a big globalist continue the party? So Glenn Beck's gone for bashing George Soros. And I know that Soros has got his dossiers on Roger Ailes, Murdoch, and on Becky Poo. They've got investigative reporters, gumshoes, you name it, digging up stuff that make FBI files look tame. And so don't worry, the News Corps Mafia's got all its dossiers as well. And it got so dangerous, they had meetings. And Hillary Clinton was in the meetings, others. And part of this has come out again. You can search all this and pull it up. And they said, let's stop this. So part of that is throwing Judge Napolitano overboard. And that also sends a message to everybody else. Toe the line. That's why you've got Huckabee saying, Obama's a really good guy. I think he's a good Christian man who loves America. You got Bill O'Reilly saying, you don't talk bad about Obama. The system is circling the wagons, okay? And they've had some real fights with each other over the power. But they, just like mafia will. But does the mafia come out and admit they're selling drugs to little kids? No, they'll fight over the turf to sell the drugs, but they aren't going to go tell the parents, hey, we're selling your kids drugs, you know, when they're 14, so when they're 18, they can be hookers for us. You keep the sheep in the dark. See, this whole corrupt system can't report on itself because then the whole thing will come down. So the very worst elements of corruption go to the top because no one can stand in its way. And then you get total tyranny, total collapse. And it's here. It's here. Except America has, it's more than 200 million guns now. Well, 400 million guns, 200 million gun owners conservatively. And it isn't going to be like Nazi Germany or Soviet Russia or Khmer Rouge, Pol Pot. You guys are going to do all the same stuff and have drones and little robots and all this tech junk. But you're not, once people get mad and just decide to come after you, they're not just going to wait at the farm. They're not going to just wait in their apartment. Once people start coming after you, not waiting in their den, all your potbellies, all your mustaches, all your armor is not going to mean anything. And I don't want to have a war with people that work for the system. The system doesn't care about you. It's going to destroy you. I'd rather you wake up, choose sides, and be with the good military and good police that are awake and know what's going on. And some police departments, the majority are awake. On average, I hear about half the police are awake, from captains and commanders and police chiefs I talk to on and off the record. Sheriffs and others. But in some departments, they say it's about 90% are ready for war with the American people. That's like getting in the ring with Mike Tyson in his prime. I mean, that's like jumping in front of a truck. And I'm not here trying to intimidate you. You know what I'm telling you is true. I mean, you want me to really talk about stuff? You want me to tell you what people can do to you? Let's say you got all our guns. We could get all the guns we ever wanted with a baseball bat. The will to kill people, the will to go ape on somebody is where all the power's at. Tony Montana says it. There's only one thing in this world that gives orders. It's called guts. You understand that? And you keep pushing, and your little banker masters are going to sit offshore who are so full of chutzpah and bravado that they make 40-to-1 bets with people's private pension funds. You got a bunch of oily bankers who sit in palaces in Switzerland and places trying to march you up against the American people who you think are afraid of you. No, they're drugged out on fluoride and cheeseburgers and drunk and watching the Super Bowl. But you keep pushing, they're not going to be. You understand that? And then the gloves come off. Just like the Redcoats thought they were going to win. You didn't win, did you? Because once the fight starts, it's all about the fight. Once the war starts, it's not about a football game anymore. Then it's about scores to settle. Then it's about killing. Then it's about blood. It's about death. That veneer of civilization burns off real fast. Because the truth is, Americans are the most violent, vicious mixture of people the world's ever seen. Americans like to kill. That's why the New World Order came here and took over. They knew this was the place to get. And you think you're going to turn this war machine against the American people? Think again. We're natural-born killers. We're gut-stomping, gun-shooting, fast-car-driving, macho killers. And you think just because you're a bunch of macho American killers that you're going to come in against the American people and not get your you-know-what handed to you, New World Order? Okay, excuse me. I don't want this to happen. Let's go to your calls. I'm going to shut up now. Engage in mass murder all over Libya. The New York Times is bemoaning that. That is just some of what we're going to be covering coming up in this hour, interspersed with your phone calls. Also, Judge Andrew Napolitano, no relation to Janet Dungbeetle Napolitano, when he comes on this radio show. But I don't put on big airs, oh, Fox News, oh. I mean, Fox News calls me to be a guest on there, and I don't even return the phone calls. Now, people are like, you don't go on Fox News. No, it's not even worth it to get in the car and drive to the satellite uplink. I'm going to go to your phone calls. The toll-free number to join us is 800-259-9231. Then I'm going to get into the latest on the drone spying on farmers and others. Huge developments as al-Qaeda forces. He has been fired from Fox Business, which I don't think is a big deal. Fox Business's top shows have 200,000 viewers, and those shows are Napolitano and Lou Dobbs. 200,000 viewers in an hour. Look up the ratings. Fox TV, their average show's got about 800,000. Average show on MSNBC, about 100,000. Some of the shows have 3 million viewers on Fox. Some of the shows have 900,000 on Mr. Maddow and others do. But it was just a waste of his time. There's all the prestige of, ooh, a fancy studio. And, ooh, I mean, he's a good host, but it's just all, he had more listeners on XM. He has, I don't know, probably 20 times the listeners.